Hey guys, it's Walking Man Walks back again with another video. Let's see, I did my video the other day on Trump and I got some comments back. A lot of people said I had no clue, I was brainless, I think I'm smart, but I'm not. That's okay, I got a thick skin, I could take the criticism. I just wanted to go over some of the comments I've been getting. Let's see, RCR F9D says Trump only cares about his ego. That's true. Trump only cares about himself. That is his ego. Yeah, he's very self-centered. I don't think he really cares about any of his kids, much less the people of the United States. But that's a lot of MAGA believes that he does care about them, so that's important to them, I guess. President Trump cares about the United States citizens. This is Woodstock Nation, so it's an older dude. President Trump cares about United States citizens in the United States. His loyalty is genuine. It makes the Dems jealous and spiteful. I don't know about that. There's nothing in Trump's past or track record that says he cares about anything but himself. I mean, he does care about the United States doing well, but for his own benefit. So, I mean, I could agree and disagree with that. He probably does care about the United States, but nothing trumps, no pun intended, Trump himself for him. I mean, he loves himself. He's a narcissist. That's a fact, Every psychologist or psychiatrist who's ever watched him says he's a narcissist. So, I tend to believe the doctors. I know a lot of MAGA doesn't believe in science or doctors, the whole vaccine thing, even though Trump was the one who actually pushed for the vaccine, and which he should have. That's like the best thing he did during his whole presidency. I know a lot of people act like he actually designed the vaccine himself, which is ridiculous. I mean, he's got an IQ of like 87 or something. So there's no way he could do something like that. I know he associates himself with his uncle, who was a professor at NYU. Somehow that makes him smart. It doesn't. You're not smart by osmosis because some of your relatives are smart or something like that. So let's keep going anyway. It's stupid what the next administration is about to do. There is no way, even if I were 20 years old, I'd be able to do this type of work. Okay, I don't know what he's talking about there. Here's the problem. In one sentence, you say MAGA doesn't do research, then the next damn thing out of your mouth proves you don't go to sources and watch things in context. Go look at the raw sources of Trump talking and do a mental exercise to step away from your bias and objectively look at what he said in context. It's not always great, but you think MSNBC and CNN are primary sources, and they most certainly are not. Okay, stop right there. I never said CNN or MSNBC are primary sources. I have my own sources, several sources, but they're not Facebook, they're not QAnon posts, they're not your friends on Facebook, and Trump lies all the time. So if you think what Trump is telling you is the straight up truth, you're kidding yourself. Okay, and then he goes on to say, Trump also set up the deal to get us out of Afghanistan. That was absolutely huge. He did set up that deal, but he's also part of the reason that the actual exit was a mess because he didn't plan for it. So there's that. But yeah, he set up the deal to get us out of Afghanistan, and I'll give you that. That was huge. He kind of denies it now because he wants to blame Biden for how bad the actual exit from Afghanistan went and soldiers died and all that stuff. As a matter of fact, it's so bad a guy actually published a bunch of bullshit papers and they got peer reviewed. Okay, you're not citing any sources there. That's what I mean. MAGA spews all this stuff. They never cite sources. Their source is Trump. It's going to be the best. We got the best people. Yeah, that's a lot of bullshit. Okay, so the next guy, Kenneth Brazel. The smart ones were wrong and are now in denial. You need to deep dive like MAGA did and come back with the correct answers. You know nothing but left-wing propaganda. Give time. Okay, if you say so. I mean, I don't know. No, none of these guys give me any sources. They just give me talking points they heard from Trump and MAGA, which is not a source. Trump's a liar again, a liar, a proven liar. And the next one, get ready for the Trump recession. Save up your money. I mean, I hope a Trump recession is not coming. I mean, if he says everything he does, most economists say that we will go into a recession. If he does all the tariffs, prices are definitely going up. There's no doubt about it. And then next one, so you work for the government. I see. Ooh, you got me. I work for the government. I'm a secret spy for the government out to get Trump. I'm a park ranger. Trump, 7.8 trillion added to the national debt. US Budget Watch says when you add the 10 years of damage from his wealthy tax cut, it is 8.4 trillion. So yeah, there's just, adding on to my point that Trump added more to the debt than, I don't know if it's any president in history, but it's any recent president. He added a lot to the debt, and most of it was the tax cut. And I've had a couple of people push back on that, say they got the tax cut, but according to the numbers, if you do the research, the only tax cuts that are still going now, yeah, I got a tax cut and all the middle class got a little tax cut, but that expired a year or two later. And now you have to make over $400,000 to be ripped per year to be reaping the benefits of those tax cuts. So I don't make over $400,000 a year. Do you? So why would you vote for Trump? He's just going to, probably the number one thing he will do is give more tax cuts. I mean, that's usually the number one thing on his priority list. And then he's got all the other billionaires in his cabinet that are just going to be, grifting the government for everything they can. There's a total conflict of interest with Elon Musk in the cabinet. He's one of the biggest contractors for the government. How could you work in the government and be one of the biggest contractors for the government? That's an issue, and it's going to be an issue. And I mean, it'll probably all come to fruition years from now. It'll be written in the history books how Elon Musk and Trump built the government for billions of dollars and, duped the American people out of their tax money, basically. Okay, next one, Brandon Powell. So they can't learn. I don't know what that means. The next one, can Big Pharma handle criticism? No. I mean, Big Pharma, they don't care about criticism. What they can't handle is regulations. And there's going to be less regulations on Big Pharma, on Big Oil, on everybody. And you know what less regulations means more pollution. I'm old enough to remember New York in the 70s before we regulated it, before the Clean Air Act, and the city was just covered with a cloud of smog every day, kind of like Beijing is now. I mean, if you want to live like that, just so billionaires and corporations can make more money, then you got what you want. Let's see, next one. MAGAs are incredibly irrational. Unless you praise their dear cult leader to the hilt, they go berserk. That's true. I wouldn't say it like that, but it's true. They get very offended if you say anything bad about Trump, like he's superhuman, some kind of god or something like that, which he's not. He's just an old man who's hanging on to the past. And then research, why you lost? I didn't lose. Kamala Harris lost, but all Americans lost, probably, is what's going to happen. Next one. They don't have to face criticism. They are not alive for your approval. Time is wasted on social issue crybabies. You're never happy. You never let go. Perpetual grievance is all you bring. Are they talking about Trump? Because Trump is the king of crybaby, perpetual grievance. Oh, they're out to get me. Everybody's out to get me. Even though he was given $400 million plus from his father, everybody's out to get him. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my whole life. Check out the editorial, The Hidden History of Kamala Harris, Allegations of Marxist Ties and Communist Influences. Todd Shannon, staff writer, City News, OKC, Associated Press, September 2nd. September 24th, 2024, the editorial describes while Brown, her horizontal instructor, as a long, see, they gotta throw in like horizontal instructor. I mean, they're just kind of nasty, MAGA, right? So she dated the guy. Big deal. Trump has been married 3 times. He's raped several women. That's not just my allegation. He was found by 12 jurors to have raped that woman in New York in that department store. Longtime communist sympathizer who endorses Harris, Marxist political philosophy, and used his political influence to boost her career. It also claims that Brown's initial election to public office was supported by the Communist Party USA and that he has maintained close ties with the Chinese Communist Party, the CCP, throughout his career. Okay, that's a lot of allegations, but that's the mayor of Los Angeles, I think he was, back in like the 80s. So by osmosis, she's a communist. Her policies weren't communist. Her policies were neoliberal, which I don't agree with either. I wish she was more to the left and more progressive. And people throw around this Marxist communist words like Marxism and communism are the same thing. They're not. Like Soviet communism is not like Chinese communism. And if you've read the Communist Manifesto, like I have, which is what Karl Marx wrote, which everybody, when they says Marxism, they say Marxism, they're referring to the Communist Manifesto. I mean, it's much more altruistic and peaceful than, the bastardized Soviet communism or Chinese communism, which is a capitalist communist hybrid. So, I mean, all these people, keep telling me I'm stupid, but it sounds like they don't really know what Marxism is. So, next one, MAGA 2024. Good luck with that. I think this is funny to point out. Apparently it doesn't recognize that shit is English. I have no idea what that means. EFF Donald Trump, or F Donald Trump and his goons. I know what that means. Mara, make America racist again. So it's kind of a mixed bag here. Some people don't like Trump, some people do like Trump. Every time a Democrat runs this country, we are in a conflict. Harris would have absolutely destroyed the economy. FYI, the reason why gas was under $2 a gallon is because we were pumping our own oil. They said on oil, but they meant own oil, which Biden stopped all that. Okay, so this is another thing. Like, thought you do your research because Biden, we're drilling more oil now into Biden than we ever did before in the history of the U.S. Trump, Obama, Bush, we're drilling more now. Go ahead and look it up, MAGA, if you don't believe me. Okay, next one. Because you tried to destroy our Constitution and our rights, and now we are coming after you. Who, me? I tried to destroy. I mean, who tried to destroy your Constitution and your rights? I think you're thinking about Trump, who's trying to take women's rights away, take African Americans' rights away, take Latino, take basically anybody who's not white, a white man's rights away. Yeah, you got that backwards. So, okay, next one. Nobody invented Tesla. The EV was around long before ICE vehicles, internal combustion engines. Without Musk, there would be no Tesla. They would have gone tits up long ago. Musk's genius was taking a small, unheard of EV company and completely turning the automobile market on its head. Nobody would have been building EVs without Tesla forcing them. Musk is a very intelligent person, but he has turned into the evil genius. Seems like half of the voting population in the US likes him, though. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, he did. It was a marketing thing, though. He, didn't design the Teslas or anything like that. It was, two other guys. That's true. But yeah, I agree with that. Jonah Mold, 93, 893. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I mean, he definitely brought, and he's just smart at marketing and he's good at making money. But he was born with a father who owns an emerald mine. So when you're born on third base, it's a lot easier to get home, right? I mean, you've all heard that. The only real research you need to do on Trump is to listen to his lies. He contradicts himself so much. Yep, that's true. I agree with that. Do you understand the connection between government, corporate politicians, and large corporations like weapon manufacturers or the pharmaceutical industry? Laugh out loud. It's hidden right under the surface. I hate to break it to you, but the rich already run us and have for decades. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that. The neoliberals, this is why I was a Bernie guy, because he's independent. He's not beholden to the corporations, to the rich. But our neoliberal overlords, the Democrats and the Republicans, and Donald Trump is part of those people. That's what I don't get. Why, explain it to me. Go ahead and comment. Explain to me how Donald Trump is any different. While he was president, he made millions of dollars last time off of our government. So how's he different than all the grifters that are in Congress and the billionaire donors? He used to be a billionaire donor until he ran for president. Okay, let's keep going. Of 130 billionaires who supported a presidential candidate, 80 supported Harris and only 50 supported Trump. So which billionaires don't you trust? I don't trust any of them. So we need to get money out of politics. We need government funded political campaigns. So like they do in some other countries, each politician gets a certain chunk of money, and that's what they use to run their political campaign. It's a shortened political season, like a month instead of 2 years. Trump started running for president 2 years ago, and that would make it a lot cleaner, a lot better. And then somebody who's not rich can run for office. Right now, even to run as a congressman, you have to be well funded. You have to be able to not work, like the luxury of not working and paying your rent and supporting yourself. Okay, here's another one. Typical liberal attitude. Trump, all patriots with the same stereotype. I don't know, should, no H. I say all liberals are judgmental. Would you be that number? Laugh out loud. Are you batshit sometimes too, fella? I mean, I don't know if that comment really makes any sense. You probably need to work on your grammar, James Brown. Let's see, next one. My Kidian. Nice honesty factor, fellow Walker. Progressive is the word. It is about our common values. Simple as that. Anyway, you nailed it with money and politics at the core of the U.S. dysfunction. My Burning Man name is Cake Walker. I often correct narratives that poor people buy into that are created by big money. Yeah, that's true. Cake Walker. I haven't been to Burning Man. I've had friends that have went. I've thought about going in the past, but I haven't yet made it. It sounds like it's kind of turned into a big fiasco. Like I said, I'm a ranger, and one of my law enforcement rangers went the year that the guy was on drugs and he tried climbing the Burning Man. He killed himself. So it could get a little crazy there. Maybe I'm getting a little too old for that kind of stuff, but I know a lot of people my age and older go. But I don't love crowds. I don't go to big concerts anymore. I used to go to Red Rocks and all that stuff back in the day and festivals, but I try and stay away from the big crowds. But Burning Man sounds like fun. Okay, and he says, lastly, Trump won the popular vote by a very small amount. He has no mandate. No point correcting MAGA, though. Best thing to do is the trickiest. Be their friend. As lost as they are, they may learn to care by someone who does. Yeah, I mean, that's good advice. There's a lot of people, it's Thanksgiving in the US now. There's a lot of people canceling their friends or their relatives, not inviting them over for Thanksgiving, not going to Thanksgiving dinners. I'm not like that. I mean, I have relatives that voted for Trump. If I was home, I would still have Thanksgiving with them. My best friend, who since 3 years old, he's been a hardcore Trumper since 2016. We talked about it then. We still talk about it now, but we are able to talk civilly about it because we've known each other since we were 3 years old, a very long time. He skews a little more racist than I do, like most of MAGA does. And no offense to MAGA, but they definitely, a lot of them don't even know it. Like him, he doesn't, sometimes I don't think he realizes the racist stuff he says, and I think that's a lot of MAGA people. They don't even realize they're being racist when they are. Okay, so wow, you are delusional. Biden with his with his cognitive decline, I think they mean, was driving America into the ground. Why do you think the majority of Americans voted for Trump? They saw their buying and earning power diminish significantly, and small businesses are suffering. I hope you and people like you do leave. Okay, so that's nasty. I mean, MAGA just their go-to is to be nasty, right? I hope you do leave, you know. You're stupid, you know. So I'm not gonna be like John Dadrian, who said that, you know. If you believe his lies, John, then good for you. I mean, yeah, the Biden economy wasn't great, but all the macroeconomics is saying it was good. And, you know, yeah, the cost of food is up and it's never going to go down again. The cost of gas is up and it's never going to go down again. If it does, we'll be in a deep recession and there'll be a lot of other problems besides the cost of gas and eggs. So yeah, maybe small businesses were suffering. I know small businesses, a lot of them were doing better under Trump. You know, there's reasons for that. You know, I can't elaborate here on the reasons for that, but there is reasons for that. The thing is, you know, every time there's a Republican in office, they screw up the economy and a Democrat comes in and fixes it. They don't fix it enough usually. Like Biden didn't fix it enough. He brought inflation way down, but he didn't bring eggs back to 99 cents a dozen or whatever. He didn't bring gas back to $2 a gallon, which it only was because we were in the pandemic at the end of Trump's, you know, people conveniently forget that, you know, which, you know, helped the price of gas, but it hurt the economy, the pandemic, you know. So gas was cheap because the whole world wasn't using any gas. It's a supply and demand economics thing, you know. There's tons of supply, but no demand. It's going to go down. That's economics 101, right? And then we got next one. Bye. You are clueless, so I'm not following anymore. Okay, Kevin tricked me. That's fine. Not everybody's going to like me. I've accepted that a long time ago. Cope is the next one. I guess I am coping a little. Whatever will Kevin do now? Bye, Kevin. Probably not a good idea for this gentleman to have a YouTube channel, inarticulate. You know, that doesn't really offend me. I know I'm not inarticulate, so. Okay, so I'm going to end it there for today. That's about it. So you guys go ahead and comment below. Keep adding to the comments. Go ahead and insult me. That's exactly why people don't like MAGA. My next video, I think, is going to be, I'm going to put together a little video on tariffs just to explain tariffs. And maybe I'll make a video about the F around and find out movement, which really interests me. It's kind of amusing. Also, you know, this channel is called Walking Man Walks, so I want all you guys to get out there and go ahead and walk, especially if you're in your 50s now. There's probably no better form of exercise. Running is bad for your knees. Biking's good too, but it takes a lot longer to get the amount of exercise you need on a bike. You know, I first started making my videos while I was walking, but that became really inconvenient because of, you know, wind and everything else, all the noise in the area here that I'm in the Philippines. But I do walk at least 10,000 steps, usually 10 to 15,000, 3 or 4 times a week. I haven't been really this week. If you watch my last video, my girlfriend's been in the hospital. She's out now, about $2,000 later, but she's on her way to recovery. And if you guys want to help out with that, you could donate to my Buy Me a Coffee, or if you just want to help out the channel. I use that money to buy equipment, but you know, right now I'm asking people if they want to help out with the hospital bill. It's just going to set me back a while, but that's okay. Nobody has to help me out. I don't expect anybody to help me out, but it is really appreciated when people do help me out with the Buy Me a Coffee. The best thing to help me out is just to become a member, subscribe, like, share, and comment. I love getting the feedback. I answer most of the comments, unless they're really nasty. I don't answer them. Some of them I just say, okay, MAGA, and that just makes MAGA even madder. Okay, guys, see you next time.